This is the Hope Not Note podcast,
where we answer your questions and share inspirational stories to fill your soul with hope.
Our mission is to empower hope to those who have been plagued by nope.
I'm Dr. Dylan Caswell.
And I'm Brandy.
And we're here to bring you out of the nope and into hope.
Welcome back to the Hope Not Note podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. As we know, it is football season and we love football. Yeah, football! And our question this week
Crab cakes and football!
Crab cakes and football! Our question this week is from a listener named Taylor, and it's about football, so I'm very excited. Taylor says, I'm a big fan of college football.
Same.
Aren't we all?
Oh, yeah.
And
Go Orange.
Taylor loves our love for football.
Aww.
So it sounds like Taylor is a longtime listener, so thank you, Taylor, for knowing our love for football. I am a big believer that the seasons go from summer to football season.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very thankful that it goes from summer to football season and not summer to fall to winter.
Right.
Because football season is just great.
Yeah, it's the best season.
Anyways, Taylor says, it's interesting seeing every lineman has those big knee braces on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, do they actually help prevent injuries, or have these athletes had injuries and that's why they wear them?
Oh, Taylor, that's a great question. And I think referencing specifically college football, you'll see every lineman has it.
Mm-hmm.
Offense, defensive lineman, these big braces. And honestly, I'm more impressed that they can get their pants over the brace to like down more at the knee level. And some wear it over, or some will put their pants over. It is impressive, but they are these large braces. And the NCAA, so why do they all wear them? The NCAA requires them to do that. So if you notice, when they get to the NFL, it now becomes a choice of, do you want to wear that? Do you not want to wear it? But what's the science say? And this is one that it really has me scratching my head, and has for years at this point, because the question is, if you're wearing this, does it prevent injury, or is a player wearing it because they had an injury? But it's kind of the same thing. Like, does it prevent it? So we go to the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, and this is what they state. Bracing is not a preferred option to prevent ACL injury. So there's one part of it.
Okay.
And then the second part is, let's say we take someone that's post-op, and again, the same American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons state, functional knee braces are not recommended in patients that have received isolated primary ACL reconstruction, so common knee surgery, as they confer no clinical benefit. So in English, the brace offers no benefit to those who have had an ACL reconstruction.
I feel like this is the same as the Guardian Cap episode that we did last football season.
Yes.
It's just, hey, let's do this for whatever reason they think is accurate, but they don't actually know the science.
Right. Yes. And the big brace, it's called the Don Joy brace. It's been around for years. I want to say back into like the 70s or 80s it was developed, and it's just become more popular. And I'm sure the NCAA has gotten a deal with them, and I don't know why they continue to do it. I mean, is there a benefit to bracing for psychological safety? Sure. But again, they say it's not the preferred option to prevent it, because there's other options that are more beneficial, such as load capacity, taking care of psychosocial stressors. Like, there's a lot of other things we can be doing than slapping on these giant knee braces and saying, all right, you're safe, go for it. And if you're relying on those as an athlete, to me, your chance of injury is going to be increased, because that's telling me that you're not confident in it. And we have to use some type of interview process or questionnaire to say, are you confident in performing what you need to perform to get back onto the field? Or do you feel like you're strong enough that you're not going to have a knee injury? What are your thoughts about your knee? How do we change those thoughts so going into the season, you're confident based on your abilities, instead of it being focused on a brace that the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons state, it doesn't really do anything.
Right. Do you know if they are required to wear them during practice? Yeah. They are. Mm-hmm. My next question, it's more of a thought actually, is I wish we knew someone, and maybe we actually do, I just can't think off the top of my mind, but to have dialogue with one of these, trainers or just their medical staff, I'm curious how they approach the conversation with these athletes
Mm.
because it's a requirement. And I think of things in my life that I was required to do, but I knew was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, just like have a bit of humility. You're doing this because for X amount of reasons and just have humility and just do it, right?
Right.
And like, is that kind of the conversation that they're having with these guys of, hey, you don't need this, but right now, like, this is the rule. And it sounds like it wouldn't necessarily be that they would get fined. It would be like they'd have to sit out, right? Or they'd have to
Yeah.
go put it on. Like, I'm
Right.
thinking if a ref saw it,
Yeah.
saw someone not wearing them, they'd probably say, go put it on or you have to sit out versus like being fined.
Right.
And it's like, I wonder what that dialogue is in the
Yeah.
locker room, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And it's one of those questions of, is that the battle worth fighting for these sports medical staffs, whether it's PT, athletic trainer, like, is that the battle that they want to have, or are there other battles that are more beneficial to the
Yeah.
team as a whole? But I would imagine that they're not telling them that, hey, this thing doesn't really do anything, but you have to wear it, because you tell a college age male that, it's like they're
Yeah.
going to push of like, okay, then why am I wearing it? Well, you have to. Well, don't tell me what to do. Well, you have to.
Right.
And I think they're probably looking at, well, there's not a benefit to it,
Right.
but is there a harm?
Mm,
Not so much. I mean, some people might say, well, yeah, there's the harm in the knee's not able to move in the way that it was designed to. Well, it is. That's why the brace doesn't work. So it's
that's a
like,
fair way to put it. The brace doesn't work because you're able to move the way that you're designed to move. And
yeah,
like if it was a brace that worked, you wouldn't be able to move and have full range of motion and
right.
things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So there's really not a huge harm to having it. There's not a benefit to it. So then it becomes down to the battle of like, all right, who wants to go chat with the NCAA and show them the evidence as to why this doesn't matter, and get a pool of people around it that are
Right.
supporting that. And with for the NCAA, when are they even going to want to hear it? Like, they got so much to figure out with NIL deals
Hmm.
and that whole thing, that a knee brace is like, I think the NCAA is looking at it and saying, we're doing good, we're protecting our athletes, all of
Yeah.
the linemen wear knee braces. Like, okay,
Yeah.
great, but like, the research doesn't show that it prevents or is helpful after a knee injury. If it's being used as a crutch or psychological safety to get an athlete back on their feet, okay. But then the question is like, well, should they be in there, or are they risking further injury because their body's not ready, their brain's not ready to be
Hmm.
back in there yet? And does putting the brace on at that point actually create a little bit
Yeah.
of harm because of not being prepared?
Right. I'd like to think that the staff at these different colleges, are getting the athletes ready, whether they've had knee injuries in the past or they haven't. Like, I know what a strength program looks like at a
Yeah,
collegiate level football. Like, it's not that they're not doing strength and conditioning,
right.
so that there is comfort in knowing that, like, there is a staff that is leading them in the weight room
Hmm.
to get stronger
Yeah,
and hopefully prevent potential injuries or re-injury depending on the athlete. So that is a comfort, but the reality is, especially at the collegiate level, they're not trying to make a change at the collegiate level, at least if they're a D1 athlete, right?
right,
Like, first of all, the NCAA is going to listen to the D1 athletes before they listen to the D2, D3, JUCO, whatever.
right.
The D1 athletes are not trying to make a change in their collegiate whatever because they're trying to make the league.
Yeah, yeah,
And so they're, even if they know that it's dumb,
yeah,
and I'm not even saying that they do, but even if they knew that this brace isn't helping them, they're not going to try and make a wave or make a change because they want to get to the league and
right.
that's what their focus is going to be on,
Yeah,
which I think is fair,
yeah,
but it's also unfortunate because maybe these kids could be making more NIL money or that money could be going into better resources for them
right,
versus, the knee brace that isn't really helping physiologically. Maybe
right.
it's helping, in their brains, but it's not really helping physiologically.
Right. Yeah, and if if I'm in that situation and we have to use the knee brace because it's the regulation, it's the rule for the athlete in order to play, okay, fine, we're going to use the brace. I'm not going to talk much about it. I'm
Yeah.
going to tell the athlete, hey, lineman, brace, you need to wear it. And I'm going to leave it at that. But what I'm going to do on the front side of this is do all the screening and strength training that we can so that we don't even need to worry whether this brace is working or not working because we know that their natural brace is ready.
Yeah.
And what I'll say too is like I know a lot of organizations that are still using like FMS, functional movement screening. I'm like, great, that maybe is a starting point. You're using one times body weight. These human beings are moving forces a lot bigger than
Yeah.
one times body weight. They're producing forces a lot bigger than one times body weight.
Yeah.
Doing an inline lunge, an overhead squat, a bird dog, uh, shoulder scratch test. Like, okay, maybe that's a starting point
Mm-hmm.
to get a very low level screen. And like I've learned the FMS, I used to use it a lot, but you have to learn that it's not complete.
Yeah.
It can be a starting point, but it's not complete, and its data on injury risk is not great. Like in that test, it's right, you get a certain score, and that means you're an injury risk. And the higher score you get, the less injury prone that you are. Well, the data is showing somewhat of the opposite. They used to score
Wow.
higher on the test, and those people end up getting more injuries. Why? They're probably more athletically capable and
Mm.
they're probably playing more. So there's stuff to be said about that. But it's just overall, it's not a great injury screen on its own. And I think a lot of organizations will use the FMS and, oh, no, no, this non-injury risk, non-injury risk. Like, whoa, no,
Wow.
like, what is their strength? What is their endurance? What's their GPS data showing? Like, can we get the sports science that's evolved for the past however many years that is beneficial? Can we get that implemented into these programs? And if you still want to keep the FMS with the sports science, cool. By
Mm-hmm.
all means, go for that. But like, if there's 10 steps, the FMS is step one. And if we take care of those other steps, then the knee brace, okay, whatever, it's there.
Yeah.
Like we don't need to focus on it. It's just, hey, wear it because I said so, basically.
Right.
But I do think it would be cool if like these SEC, Big Ten, these power schools that their medical teams got together and petitioned, like, hey, do we actually need this?
Yeah.
Because the reality is there's a cost to the colleges to get those
Mhm.
braces. And granted, they have millions of dollars, but it's like, could that money be allocated to different programs that can help them get equipment that might be needed
Yeah.
or probably is needed versus all this money on knee braces that,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not us saying this. It's the
Yeah.
American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons
Yeah.
saying this.
This is not a
So,
hope not nope's perspective. This
no.
is sports science. And as like sports science enthusiasts, like of course we want these young people and these training staffs and medical staffs to like have the best resources possible. And like we said, like this is kind of a doesn't help, doesn't hurt type situation. But
Yeah. If it did, I'd be all on board of like, yeah, linemen wear those braces because like,
yeah,
oh wow, you get to
100%.
prevent a ACL injury or other knee injury and you get to play, get more snaps, like awesome, but they don't. So
Yeah.
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 All right. So we'll pause on that. Taylor, thank you for the question.
Yeah.
Happy football, happy college football season.
Yeah, my hope story is literally that it's football season.
Yeah.
I love NFL, I love college. Our nephews are both
Oh,
in high
Friday Night
school.
Lights.
Friday Night Lights, like it is great. And I think just an encouragement if you live in the area, if you're not a football fan, I'm sorry. But if you are a football fan, but say you don't have family in high school, like one of the things I love about my mom lives in Florida
Yeah.
and she doesn't have family down there. She doesn't have friends' kids who are in high school, but she will find sporting events and just go watch. Like she loves watching high school sports. And so she'll just go to a Friday Night Lights game for the random team in the team in the random town that she lives in. And I love that. And so I just want to encourage our listeners, like if you just want to enjoy some live sports, go to a local football game, Friday Night Lights. I mean, I love it. I'm biased, but I love
It's
it.
pure football. It's joyful football.
Yeah.
They're not playing for money.
Yeah.
They're playing for the pride of their hometown.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
We're here for it.
Yeah. Yes. Happy football season.
Happy football season.
Thank you for listening. Have a great week. And remember, every day is not just a day to be hopeful, but an opportunity to become hope.
The Hope Not Know podcast is meant for educational, informational, and personal development purposes only and does not constitute any health or medical advice. If you're looking for specific advice, connect with us to work with a Hope coach. The Hope Not Know podcast shall not be liable or responsible for any loss or damage allegedly arising from any information or suggestions in this podcast.